Hello, NBA fans. Every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I ask for your help by subscribing to the channel and giving me your thumbs up. The Lakers are not among the favorites for the championship, due to having a terrible defensive system and a rotation that scores very little. Only a high-impact signing can change the Lakers' course to win their 18th championship. A starting lineup with Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton, and Trey Murphy III would be terrifying for any rival. Trey Murphy III is one of the most promising players in the NBA, athletic, strong, extremely efficient at shooting, and with the ideal size for the position. He represents a rare type of player, young, with a high ceiling and immediate impact. In his last 2 seasons, Murphy III has established himself as one of the most dangerous shooters in the Western Conference, frequently achieving success rates above 40% from three-point range. In addition to his shooting, he has explosiveness to attack closeouts, finish in transition, and contest shots defensively thanks to his physical stature. With a 5-22 record this season, the Pelicans are going nowhere. And to make matters worse, they traded the rights to their 2026 NBA draft pick to the Atlanta Hawks. But at least Derek Queen looks awesome. Scouring the market for potential trades should be an inevitable plan for New Orleans, and though Murphy is a key part of their core, the Lakers could make a monster offer to try to pry him away. Here's a deal the Lakers could potentially throw the Pelicans' way at this year's deadline. Lakers receive Trey Murphy III. Pelicans receive Dalton Knecht, Adith Yero, Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber, 2026 first-round pick, 2030 first-round pick. Getting Murphy won't come cheap. He's an incredible young player who would be a perfect fit next to Doncic and Reeves, as his offensive floor spacing and defensive length would be a huge help. So far this year, Murphy is averaging 21.1 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while shooting 48.9% from the floor and 36% from deep on 7.4 three-point attempts per contest. Dalton Knecht would be a decent player for New Orleans to take a chance on, and the same could be said for Adith Yero. Jared Vanderbilt and Maxi Kleber would be used to match salaries in the deal. The real benefit for the Pelicans in this trade would be the 2 unprotected first-rounders, as they likely won't have a first this season. Unfortunately, the selections won't be super valuable, as the Lakers are looking to make a deep playoff run this year. Still, having a first is better than not having one. In all honesty, it may take even more than this for the Lakers to get Murphy, but his offensive and defensive fit next to Doncic and Reeves, on a great contract, is too good not to inquire about. Lakers are doing something the other West contenders refuse to do. Surprise, surprise, the Los Angeles Lakers are shopping for an upgrade. While other contenders are standing pat, confident in what they already have, the Lakers are actively searching for help despite sitting at 19-8 and 4th in the Western Conference. Right now, the Lakers are winning, and they have made some good pickups in the offseason. DeAndre Ayton has been stellar. Even Marcus Smart has been better than expected. But even with that being said, they know that the pieces that make up their current roster just are not enough. Mark Stein captured that contrast clearly on the Stein line, writing, "Really only the Lakers loom as a clear-cut playoff team like Minnesota that is known to be shopping for a particular need." In a conference loaded with top talent, the Lakers are the rare playoff team openly acknowledging a weakness and trying to address it mid-season, which is obviously a good thing. Why the Lakers are operating differently than other West teams? That weakness is no secret. The Lakers lack a true 3 and D wing. They desperately need a perimeter defender who can stay on the floor offensively while taking on elite scorers. Right now, they do not have a player who reliably checks both boxes. And the truth is, against top teams in the West, that gap shows up quickly, especially when the matchup turns physical. If you know anything about playoff basketball, every matchup gets physical. The Lakers are way more desperate to make a move in the West than the other top dogs. The contrast with Oklahoma City could not be sharper. The defending champions are off to an absolutely blistering 26-3 start, and their roster looks complete. There is no incentive for the Thunder to disrupt chemistry that is already producing dominant results. Stability is a luxury they have earned. Other West teams feel similarly comfortable. As Stein noted, Denver, meanwhile, is said to be pleased with the offensive boost provided by newly acquired Jonas Valanciunas while remaining bullish on Cam Johnson. The Rockets are starting to regularly see the sort of production they hoped for from Reed Shepherd. San Antonio, too, has every reason to watch its young core continue to blossom rather than chase an older star. Each team has a reason to wait. The Lakers do not because their margin is thinner. Stein also cautioned that solutions may be limited, writing that it's equally unclear if a player who can help address the Lakers' need for a 3-and-D wing becomes available between now and the February 5 trade buzzer. The market may not cooperate, and the Lakers' asset pool certainly will not make things easy. The Lakers have 0 second-round draft picks between 2026 and 2031. Their first-round draft capital is not a pretty sight either. Still, effort matters. The Lakers are going to need to pick up the phone and hope for a taker, especially with the weaker, rebuilding teams in the league. An example of a team they could call is the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans' instability makes them an obvious target, and the Lakers should explore every possible opening. Competition heating up for Lakers in the Andrew Wiggins sweepstakes. If the Los Angeles Lakers still want Andrew Wiggins, they'll need to fend off the Milwaukee Bucks. Andrew Wiggins was the name persistently being tossed around in connection to the Los Angeles Lakers throughout the 2025 offseason. If that is still a player who the front office views as a potential boost to a championship push, Rob Pelinka will need to compete against the Milwaukee Bucks. Jovan Buha reported in the earlier parts of the 2025 offseason that an eye-popping trade demand from Pat Riley had the Lakers and Miami Heat unable to reach a deal. Mark Stein returned to the idea of Wiggins in Los Angeles later in the summer, with Dan Woik there to support the rumor. The Bucks, like the Lakers, have been kicking the tires on a potential Wiggins trade for a considerable amount of time too. If Jake Fisher is to be believed, it stretches back to a time before Los Angeles even came into the picture. The NBA insider discussed the matter in his latest rumor mill roundup. Fisher wrote, "Other players Milwaukee has displayed some interest in previously, include Miami's Andrew Wiggins and New Orleans' DeJounte Murray. Milwaukee regularly called about Wiggins during his tenure in Golden State, league sources say. Bucks' desperation heave could complicate Lakers' trade deadline path. Why would the Bucks want in on a potential sweepstakes involving Wiggins? That would be to entice Giannis Antetokounmpo to stay in Milwaukee, of course." Bucks insider Eric Nehm suggested without an official trade request on the table, Milwaukee is looking to exhaust all options in trying to get their franchise superstar to commit long-term. The hope would be to sell a strong future with the only NBA team he's ever suited up for, thus far. Fisher echoed a similar message. The NBA insider wrote that Milwaukee is shifting towards being buyers ahead of the trade deadline. Fisher added, "One rival general manager I spoke to went so far as to say that the Bucks have convinced him that they're going big game hunting. Considering their lackluster asset pool, one that is even worse than what the Lakers have to work with, their version of that reportedly includes the likes of Wiggins, Murray, Zach LaVine, Jeremy Grant, and even Marcus Smart. This may not prove to be a situation in which the effort is what truly counts. For the Lakers, the presence of the Bucks is in all likelihood an inconvenience, at best. The real obstacle for Los Angeles's pursuit would be Miami budging on Wiggins' availability and price in the first place. Lakers' pursuit of Herb Jones signals the end of half measures on defense. The Lakers don't just want a defender. They want a true lockdown presence. The Los Angeles Lakers have been linked to New Orleans Pelicans defensive ace Herb Jones in consistent trade rumors. It's information that's been shared rather consistently in recent weeks, particularly as the Pelicans continue to lose games and face the reality that they don't have their own first-round draft pick in 2026. While landing Jones would be a dream outcome for the Lakers, the bigger takeaway is that Rob Pelinka is no longer willing to settle for decent or indifferent defenders. Jones isn't just one of the best defensive players on the open market, but one of the top defenders in the NBA. He earned all defensive first-team honors in 2023-24 and could secure the same recognition in 2025-26 despite the Pelicans' woeful team results. It should thus come as no surprise that Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype is the latest to confirm that the Lakers are interested in trading for Jones. The Los Angeles Lakers are monitoring the trade market for a defensive wing upgrade, league sources told Hoops Hype. Among the 3&D wing upgrades on their wish list is New Orleans Pelicans forward Herb Jones, league sources say. Whether or not Los Angeles succeeds in trading for Jones, it's clear that they're looking at elite defenders and not just quality rotational fits. Lakers prioritizing elite defenders, no longer accepting inadequacy. The NBA's worst-kept secret is that the Lakers are in the market for defenders who excel at the point of attack. It's the primary weakness they've struggled to address in recent years. With an offensively inclined star duo in Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, the lack of an elite perimeter defender has never been more detrimental. Los Angeles has managed to overcome the issue by jumping out to an 18-7 record, but there's rational skepticism in regard to their ability to win in the playoffs unless the defense improves. Jones would certainly help in that regard as a 6 feet 7 inches wing who has a history of playing lockdown defense. Moreover, he's displayed remarkable positional versatility by spending 32.79% of his minutes guarding point guards, an issue the Lakers struggle with due to Doncic and Reeves' inconsistency. Jones also thrives in on- and off-ball scenarios, ranking in the 99th percentile in perimeter isolation defense, the 94th percentile in ball screen navigation, and the 89th percentile in passing lane defense, per Basketball Index. For as obvious a fit as he would be with the Lakers, the bigger reason for optimism is that the front office is setting a high bar. Los Angeles has backed itself into corners in the past by failing to prioritize defense at the point of attack, but the Jones rumor appears to represent a shift in ideology. The Lakers aren't just looking for a quality defender who can slightly elevate the quality of the team's defense, but a player who can legitimately lock opposing teams' best players down. In a Western Conference dominated by the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's a necessary pursuit. Top contenders consistently roll out lineups with multiple high-level or even elite defenders, and the Lakers simply lack the personnel to match that increasingly common strength. Jones would be the ultimate slam dunk acquisition, but he's also a standard-setting trade target who epitomizes how the Lakers have altered their priorities. Potential trade for defense likely to cost Lakers another first-round pick. Los Angeles won a championship and reached a second conference finals with its bold strategy of effectively disregarding NBA draft flexibility for a shot at immediate success. As such, Pelinka has been vindicated to some degree for his gambles. Unfortunately, the long-term ramifications continue to be felt as Bronny James, Dalton Knecht, and Adou Thiero are the only drafted players on the roster, and none play consistent roles in the rotation. To make matters worse, Los Angeles has a grand total of 0 second-round draft picks between 2026 and 2031. As such, it simply lacks the resources to pull off the type of move that brought Dorian Finney-Smith to the Lakers in 2024-25. Los Angeles is also already down its 2027 and 2029 first-round draft picks, although it does have each of its selections between 2030 and 2032. Lakers short on trade options, internal growth due to lack of draft picks. In a perfect world, Los Angeles would follow the trend that's become impossible to ignore amongst the NBA's contemporary contenders and utilize its draft picks to build out its roster. In the process, it would find a way to both bolster the rotation and improve without incurring veteran costs. Unfortunately, trading for immediate help will likely conflict with that dream, and another outgoing first-round draft pick could put Los Angeles back in the hunt for impact players who are willing to sign for the veteran minimum. It's a strategy that's paid off at times, with Marcus Smart being the shining example in 2025-26. The inherent nature of such an approach, however, is that it's banking on players who are either past their prime or overcome by injuries to challenge a trend that's depleted their market value. Drafting a player, however, would permit the Lakers to sign an up-and-comer to a multi-year contract at a similarly low price while having a chance to mold them into a system fit. With Doncic soon to turn 27 and thus enter his athletic prime, however, the clock is ticking for Los Angeles to improve the team around him. Trading a 2031 first-round draft pick wouldn't necessarily sting in the short term, but the depletion of draft assets has limited the Lakers' internal growth and even prohibited it from making bigger supplementary trades that may require multiple picks. As the 2026 NBA trade deadline grows closer, one simply can't ignore how the Lakers are back in a familiar place as they debate the value of their limited trade options against a first-round pick. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves open up about growing friendship. The biggest reason for the Los Angeles Lakers' success this season has been their backcourt, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, quickly building chemistry on and off the court. Doncic and Reeves are both playing at an all-star level, the latter of which many didn't expect considering both players are at their best with the ball in their hands. Not only have Doncic and Reeves gelled on the floor, but they have also quickly built a close relationship off it. In an interview with Dave McMenamin of ESPN, Reeves credited that to their mutual competitiveness in everything they do. "I saw that we had, I don't love saying this, many similarities in how we like to compete in all different things," Reeves said. "Not just basketball. Whatever. Cards, bowling, darts, which he hasn't beaten me at either." Reeves believes the relationship that he and Doncic have built has also helped with their chemistry on the court. "We act like we're probably 10-year-old best friends," Reeves said. "You have a deeper care for one another than just basketball. And then that bleeds into basketball, because you don't want to let that person down. You don't want to not give it your all." Doncic agreed with his teammates' sentiment in stating that the chemistry building process has been natural. Doncic said, "We kind of understand each other, what the other is going to do. So I would say it's a little bit natural." According to one source of McMenamin's within the Lakers, Reeves playing as well as he has helped earn the respect of Doncic, who is used to playing with other high-level guards. "He's realizing, Austin is good," a team source told ESPN. "It was the same way he loved Jalen Brunson and loved Kyrie Irving. There's an appreciation for great players." Doncic signed an extension with the Lakers this past offseason, but Reeves is currently in a contract year. All indications are that he wants to remain with the Lakers and they want to sign him to a long-term deal as well, which means Reeves and Doncic would be the team's starting backcourt for the foreseeable future. JJ Redick believes Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves share common trait. The mutual competitiveness that Doncic and Reeves share has been noticeable to everyone around them as Lakers head coach JJ Redick recently spoke about it. "I think it's in a really healthy place," Redick said of Doncic and Reeves' relationship. "I think what they realized early in the preseason, I don't know if it was the first road trip or the second one that we went on, but they both realized that they both enjoy talking trash a lot. And their personalities in that regard are very similar, so they can sort of create a little bit of chemistry with each other just by being their natural selves." Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves open up about growing friendship. The biggest reason for the Los Angeles Lakers' success this season has been their backcourt, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, quickly building chemistry on and off the court. Doncic and Reeves are both playing at an all-star level, the latter of which many didn't expect considering both players are at their best with the ball in their hands. Not only have Doncic and Reeves gelled on the floor, but they have also quickly built a close relationship off it. In an interview with Dave McMenamin of ESPN, Reeves credited that to their mutual competitiveness in everything they do. "I saw that we had, I don't love saying this, many similarities in how we like to compete in all different things," Reeves said. "Not just basketball. Whatever. Cards, bowling, darts, which he hasn't beaten me at either." Reeves believes the relationship that he and Doncic have built has also helped with their chemistry on the court. "We act like we're probably 10-year-old best friends," Reeves said. "You have a deeper care for one another than just basketball. And then that bleeds into basketball, because you don't want to let that person down. You don't want to not give it your all." Doncic agreed with his teammates' sentiment in stating that the chemistry building process has been natural. Doncic said, "We kind of understand each other, what the other is going to do. So I would say it's a little bit natural." According to one source of McMenamin's within the Lakers, Reeves playing as well as he has helped earn the respect of Doncic, who is used to playing with other high-level guards. He's realizing, Austin is good, a team source told ESPN. It was the same way he loved Jalen Brunson and loved Kyrie Irving. There's an appreciation for great players. Doncic signed an extension with the Lakers this past offseason, but Reeves is currently in a contract year. All indications are that he wants to remain with the Lakers and they want to sign him to a long-term deal as well, which means Reeves and Doncic would be the team's starting backcourt for the foreseeable future. JJ Redick believes Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves share common trait. The mutual competitiveness that Doncic and Reeves share has been noticeable to everyone around them, as Lakers head coach JJ Redick recently spoke about it. I think it's in a really healthy place, Redick said of Doncic and Reeves' relationship. I think what they realized early in the preseason, I don't know if it was the first road trip or the second one that we went on, but they both realized that they both enjoy talking trash a lot. And their personalities in that regard are very similar, so they can sort of create a little bit of chemistry with each other just by being their natural selves.